24 hours from heading, to the Maui Invitational. A thought for Boise State basketball that may not have, been around for a while. What's it mean for this program, this trip?
Well, when I was at Gonzaga, we went there 3 times, and you just fell in love with that tournament for so many reasons. Best place on the planet. You know, it's always a better place when you win games too. And we won the tournament once, lost in the championship, and 1 year went 1-2. So you're always going to play great teams, and that's what you want. Great teams and great resume opportunities on a neutral court. And it's such a cool environment. It kind of takes you back. It takes you play in these big, huge arenas all over the country and all over the world, and it takes you back to the small gyms where we all started from. So there's an appreciation for that, and it's just pure competition. And so what an experience for our fans. The fans that are going, they're gonna. I mean, there's a lot of great teams there, a lot of great coaches. There's high level broadcast, all the things that are cool for players and coaches to be part of.
I know you've been trying to get in this for a long time. So, I mean, you're about making history and keep checking off boxes
Yes.
for this program. To be in the Maui Invitational, what does it mean for this program?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, when I took this job, WAC team's never gone to the Maui, I don't think. I'm just saying that, but I'm almost 100% sure. Never fact checked it, but it's probably true. And for us to get that opportunity, they're not going to invite, because they invite programs, not teams, because you got to do it in advance usually. So if your program's consistently good, then you get those opportunities. And you also have to have fan support. That was one of the big things that I had to show these people, our fans are getting more and more involved, and because they don't, a place like Maui doesn't want your fan section to be empty when everyone else is sold out. So we got some fan support. Hopefully we have a great number over there, and our fans will look great.
I'm not going to begin to guess how many MTEs you've been into, but just how much more special is Maui than the rest of them?
Well, it's number one. Yeah. It was the greatest, and now there's some ones that have changed the landscape because of the NIL, and that's a shame a little bit, but that's the way college athletics are now. But it was the number one, top of the list. And you look at the teams that have played there, you look at the classic games that have been played there. Everyone over my career, people say, "What's the greatest game you've ever been involved in?" And right away I go, us and Michigan State and Maui. I mean, it was near perfect on so many levels. And so to be involved in those kind of situations is what you want to give that opportunity for your athletes, because the opportunity for these lifelong memories. And but it starts, we're not on this isn't a tourist thing. We got to go over there and compete, and now it doesn't mean we enjoy everything. We enjoy every day together, whether it's sunny or rainy or whatever, but we enjoy competing and together. So this gives them a great opportunity to do that in a special place.
Was getting 3 wins there due for a team? Just
in
terms of confidence, in terms of metrics, those things.
Well, like I said, that when I got this job, I knew MTEs were a big part of. It's a big part of what we did at Gonzaga. A jumping off point was, it wasn't even the Alaskan shootout, it was the one in Fairbanks. I believe Gonzaga went up there and beat Clemson, Tulsa, and one other really good team. Clemson was number 5 in the country, and it was a jumping off point. And then the next year went to the Elite Eight, and but it was those wins that they got up in Alaska that really kind of solidified and gave the program some more cachet, more resume stuff. But over the years, you start to realize those are great opportunities that you can't get. A high level team on a neutral court. That's what you're always seeking.
So much of this is about building and learning and preparing to be your best by the end of the season, right? And so oftentimes we can say these tournaments you get into this time of year, they're like little mini March Madnesses. But you look at the name brands in this tournament. I mean, how how much of a test will this be, and how much will it prepare you maybe for moments like that later down in the
Well,
season?
you're going to face so much adversity, and it comes in such a compact three games in 3 days. So your response has to be instantaneous. It's not like you can, well, we played bad Monday and then we got a week to fix it. And no, you're turning around in sometimes less than 24 hours. You're playing another really, really good team. So, you know, it's so hard, and it takes so much that, you know, that instantaneous response, because you got to realize, like, that opportunity you get the next day stand alone is amazing. I mean, think about this. One time at Gonzaga, we in back-to-back days, we played Indiana and Kentucky back-to-back days. Well, you put those games anywhere on the calendar by themselves, it's the biggest game in, you know, this was years ago, and so you just have to have that perspective, like, okay, let's see the forest for the trees. I know we're feeling sorry for ourselves about the win or loss or whatever it might be. You got to be able to realize that we got to turn it around quick and get ready to play. And there's going to be a good team that comes out of there disappointed and or feeling bad, because you look at what happened last year. UConn 0-3. UConn was 0-3 last year, and you know that historically that you see that all over with good MTEs.
What about you? Oh,
You go for it. I'm gonna go back.
what about
to
USC? What do they do best, and what's the challenge?
Well, Muss is a great coach. You know, we got a long history when he was at Nevada, and you know his guys play hard. They always do. That's, you know, and really, you know, when you talk about coaches and you talk about programs, that's number one. That really is. A good coach will have his team playing hard, and that's what he does, and he gets really good players. You put those two things together, that makes for a really good team, and that's what I see them. I mean, their numbers reflect that right now, and you know, they're physical. They got a lot of guys that can get buckets. You know, just typical Muss team, really.
You mentioned wanting to play good teams. Were you happy when you saw, I mean, they're the highest ranked team in this field. I mean, to be playing them and guarantee that game in the first game of the tournament, were you excited, I guess, to get this opportunity?
Well, you know, I think if you look around that field, you'd have been excited about any of them. And so, but yeah, but it's a really, really good team. It you know, like you said, the highest ranked one in the field, and there's some all, you know, you go down that list, there's a lot of other ones that are really good too. So yeah, you just, you know, we just gotta travel, we gotta have great prep like we've had in these last few weeks, and continue that.
Especially with, you know, once you get to games 2 and games 3, how much of it is, you know, you've got 24 hours, you don't even know who you're playing till that night. How much of it is preparation for that team as opposed to just trying to get some rest and having them ready to go the next day?
It's a combination of everything. Getting the minds right is the most important thing.
Oh,
Just hit the side. Yeah, he could talk about that. Hit the side button. Okay. I'm not going to take the call right now. Sorry, Mark. But he could talk about the Maui pretty good. He's won it 2 or 3 times now, right? I think. Yeah, one of the 2. It's a combination of everything. It's how you recover physically, how you recover mentally. It's doing the most prep in the least amount of time, but not overdoing the prep. You know, I was talking to Tad, who played in it last year, and they prepped for a week against Michigan State, and they thought they had everything dialed in, right? And they get destroyed by Michigan State, and their prize was they get to play UConn the next day, and they had 12 hours to prep, 10 hours to prep, and then they beat UConn. You know, so you just gotta you can't overdo it, because you gotta be fresh, you gotta be mentally fresh, you gotta play hard. So a lot of it you gotta rely on your principles and that kind of thing. And sometimes that's the best.
I know we're only five games. Oh, sorry. If there's anything more important.
No, you're fine.
Okay. I know we're only 5 games in. But you look at Andrew Meadows' true shooting percentage, and I feel like he actually keeps this up and be like one of the highest of the Leon Rice era here at Boise State. How many bad shots has he taken this year? And Just how impressive has he been in terms of, man, it seems like he's shooting threes or making layups or dunks so far.
Yeah, no, he's really figuring it out, and there's still more progress he can make. You look at our last game, how much better we are offensively, because we started out 0 for 7 from 3, but the first 2 looks weren't very good, but then the next 5 were great looks. So there was no panic to us, because if we kept getting those great looks, we knew the numbers would get right, and that's what you're seeing is we took great threes in that game, and we just got to build on that and keep building on that throughout the year, and the progress we made on that is huge, because you're not going to beat the best teams on your schedule if you're taking bad shots, tough shots, contested shots. You can, and that's how we prepare. We prepare to beat the best team on our schedule, whoever that's going to be. And you guys have seen it, you know who some of those would be, and you know how good defensively they are. So if you think you're going to just go out athlete 2 or 3 of them, you're not. You have to rely on each other, and you have to get each other great shots. And that's, as a team, we've gotten better at, and Andrew's gotten a lot better at that.
Thank you.